Let's have a conversation. Tell me what you think about the issues of the world. What kind of spice you wanna be? Tell me where you wanna travel. Do you believe in luxury? What's your hidden passion? What makes you so unique? Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole.
What's recruiting been like for you?
Pretty difficult in a sense of you thought it would be a lot easier winning the national championship, but it's been a little bit harder. But at the same time, you know, I always tell people, whoever I have here, that's what God wants me to have, and that's who I coach, and I don't worry about the rest.
Now, do you recruit internationally or just
Yes.
You do?
Yep, we're Lord willing. We got one coming from Egypt,
What?
and so they have a holiday, and they stopped her from coming in. She should have been in this weekend, but since there's a
Is there
Egyptian holiday,
Okay.
hopefully she'll be in next week. So we've got one from Australia, Egypt, Canada this year. So we usually have 2 or 3 more, but yeah, we're international. Local, we have a young lady local who went to Rickards. We have 2 young ladies from Florida, Winter Haven and Leesburg.
Okay, so a number of
Chicago, but yeah, we're from all over.
All over. Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and today my very special guest is Franqua Bedell, also known as Coach Q. He is the head basketball coach at Tallahassee Community College. Welcome, Coach Q.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So you won a national championship
Yes, ma'am.
this
Yes,
year.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The women's
It's
basketball team
championship.
at TCC won the National Junior College.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Association Division I.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And
That's tremendous.
it is. We're still shocked.
Look, he's got
you
this
know?
ring. I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all can see this ring, but he got this big fat championship ring.
Still shocked. My wife keeps reminding me. She said, "You keep saying last year, babe. You just did it 5 months
Yes,
ago. So
this
you got to
year,
celebrate." And you gotta,
2018.
yes. And so it's been a definite pleasure, a blessing, and something that I promised my AD 5 years ago I would do when he interviewed me for the job, and we were able to do it in 5 years. So
Okay.
that's definitely a gift and that I give to the community.
Awesome, and we appreciate that here in Tallahassee.
ma'am.
And not only the community, but the state.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So we were blessed to be one of 12 teams in the state of Florida that won a national championship. So the state of Florida, at the collegiate level, got to celebrate, 12 national championships, and 2 came from the city of Tallahassee with TCC women's basketball and Florida State
The
women's softball.
yes.
So the women's sports really represented this
They
year.
did
So
for
I'm really proud
Tallahassee.
to be a part of that.
Absolutely. Well, give us a little bit about your history, where you from, college,
Originally-
and all that sort of good stuff.
Originally from Tucson, Arizona. My mom and dad met. My dad's a musician. And so we traveled kind of like military brats. So I call us music brats. We ended up in Arkansas, where my dad played country rock music for 10 years. And so
That's
that was,
different.
yes, that was very, very interesting.
Okay.
Learned a lot in that situation, learned a lot in that environment, very fortunate. Went to college at the University of the Ozarks, high school at Fort Smith, Southside High School, but went to college at the University of the Ozarks, where I got my bachelor's degree, and then got my master's degree at Hardin-Simmons, and started coaching from that aspect. And been kind of all over the world: Mississippi State, VCU, Southeast Missouri State, Southeastern Illinois, and then had the opportunity to become the head coach here at TCC. So,
Wonderful.
in a quick summary, that is a little bit of where I've been.
That's good. That's a good summary. And you played basketball yourself?
I
right?
did.
Okay.
I did. I was a point guard. Most people thought I was a post. Not kidding. But I was a point guard at the University of the Ozarks, and I had an opportunity to have a collegiate career. Kind of knew early that pro wasn't going to be an option.
Wasn't in the car for you. Yes.
So got into teaching and coaching and speaking, and been doing that ever since.
Okay. So married?
I am married. My wife is named Crystal.
Okay.
And we've been married. We just celebrated year 5.
All right.
And it's been a definite blessing. It took me 37 years to find the right person. But, you know, Lord sent it in due time.
Okay.
So everything has been amazing with her. And, you know, she's given me purpose and reason, and, you know, even more reason to get up in the morning to grind and work to provide a home.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yes, ma'am. It is.
Yes.
It is.
So what attracted you to Tallahassee?
Well, the conference, first of all, the conference is one of the best conferences in the country. I was at VCU and had an opportunity to maybe possibly get a job and become a head coach. Everyone said I was taking a step backwards. I thought I was taking a step forward because I get to be a head coach and kind of see what I know, if it worked. And, you know, the environment, the atmosphere, the school, I mean, you couldn't have a better place to have a junior college. And so took the shot and it worked out.
Okay, sounds good. So besides the obvious of actually winning the championship, what's the significance of this particular win?
I think there's several different things that I think a lot of people need to know. First, I was the first African-American male to win the Division I national championship in junior college.
That's huge.
It is huge, and we're talking about 2018. The second thing is I got to coach against my best friend, who was an African-American male.
Okay.
And so we created history, and just that alone, too, that 2 black males were coaching in the championship game, that, you know, and one of us was going to win it. So that was the first time in history as well. So there's a lot of different things, but I say the biggest significance is that, you know, I feel like I do this the right way. And, you know, we prepare kids to go on about life and not just basketball, and to do that and to win it and knowing you feel like you've done everything the right way to help people and to grow people, that's a good feeling. And so I think that's what I take out of it more than anything, that you can do it the right way and still find a way to be successful.
That's great. Now, you also won Coach of the Year?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I won National Coach, Spalding National Coach of the Year. And I contribute that to our kids. I contribute that to my assistants, Hinton Battle, Dee Dee Jernigan, Joe Cohen, you know, my AD, and all our basketball players. I only win that because of them. And so, I really give that award to them as well. So we won the coaches. National Coach of the Year, because, you know, you can't do it by yourself.
Indeed. Well, it sounds like you had a great team. Too.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. I had a great team.
Good deal. Good deal. When did your love for basketball begin?
Man, if I could tell you the story, we would be here for hours, but...
All right, give us a short version.
Short version. It started in Springfield, Missouri, with a coach we call Coach Snell, and Coach Snell told him like this, you don't understand a word. But the kids understood every word that Coach was saying. But that's when it started, and he had a love for us. I mean, he loved the game, and he's probably one of my biggest fans still today. But the love of the game started with Coach Snell.
Okay.
And he taught us how to love the game.
What did he say about you winning this championship?
He cried.
Oh, did
You know, he cried. He cried and just hugged me and told me how proud he was of me. He's just like a father. And so those were one of the things that, you know, in this, you know, you're trying to make people that helped you grow and was a part of that village, because, you know, when we grew up, we were part of a big village. You know, I get whooped by everybody in the neighborhood if I did something wrong.
That's right.
You know, and so, but you truly trying to make those people proud.
Good deal.
every stunt, every shot, every rep, every strike, every hit, every kick, every spike. From first down to first place, every tag counts. When you buy a professional team license tag, every purchase supports the designated team's youth charity programs and promotes youth in major sporting events in Florida. Find out more information at playinflorida.com.
This is Nicole Everett. People often ask me, what makes a great conversation? I say active listening, honest exchange, genuine interest, and finding a common ground. Tune in to Conversations with Nicole and explore the pleasures and connection of great conversation.
Conversations with Nicole. Come and have a little talk with me. Conversations with Nicole. Come on and speak to me.
We are Cumulus Broadcasting Tallahassee, the power of radio. Proud sponsor of Conversations with Nicole, connecting the community through conversations.
Now, you're coaching women's basketball, so I have to ask you, why women's and why not men's?
I started off on the men's side, and it just wasn't a fit. Women seemed to buy in a little bit easier. The camaraderie and the cohesion and the synergy, it just flowed with coaching women, and so I stayed with it and have enjoyed it, and it's produced a pretty good life for me.
Mm-hmm. So do the women go hard for you?
They do. And I tell people all the time, my girls are way tougher than the guys because I don't think our guys can handle how I coach.
They can't handle Coach Q?
No, I don't think they could. But I have some pretty tough girls and young ladies, and they become very, very resilient and mentally strong, and they're prepared for anything after they leave me. So I'm really proud of them.
That's great. Now, I imagine your players, many of them may have had some situations where their father may have not been in the household.
Yes. And
they probably look to you as a father figure.
Yes.
And what's that been like?
Well, that's part of why you want to do it the right way. You're a big part of their lives, and you're a big part of why they come here, and to me, for a lot of them, they've never probably been around a male that didn't want anything from them, and I don't want anything from them other than success, and to hold them accountable to be the best version of themselves every day. And so, for a few of them, it's a struggle because they might have not had that father in their household. They don't know how to, this man trying to be my daddy, and, once they get past that, and they really truly see that, okay, it's something that I have to deal with, and, he doesn't want anything other than my success, and he's not gonna abandon me, that's when we truly start to see breakthrough in these young ladies, and they start to move forward into something really special, and, it's been a joy to be a part of.
That's great. Now, do you have a success story that you might want to share with us about, a particular player that you have interacted with in the past, and maybe there was like a turnaround as a result of your training and coaching?
Yeah, there are several, but right now one that is just freshly, her name is Japonica James. She just graduated.
Okay.
She's going to Troy. She was a big component of us winning the national championship, having a great successful year last year, and young lady from Mobile, Alabama. No one gave her an opportunity, a chance. They see her outer interior, and I think people may make judgments, but we battled. When I say we battled, we bumped heads. I've kicked off the team a couple times, and Mama would bring her back and say, "Coach," and we would talk, and it ended up being something that is so special. One of my hearts, and she definitely has turned the corner, and she's become just a wonderful young lady, and is gonna make Troy a great student athlete, and also be a great player. And this is a kid that found a way to do things that with a disability that she has, learning disability, and will graduated with a 2.98 and it's just an amazing story. And I told her one day somebody's going to write about that, Pawnee. So I would say that was, on top of million others that I could share, that one probably is the one that's more fresh,
Right.
and something that I get emotional about.
All right, well, we're not gonna make you cry.
Oh yeah, And they know I'll cry real quick. Okay.
So as it relates to, you don't have any children yourself, but I know the girls probably are like your children in
Yes,
some
ma'am.
regards. So you've taken on that fatherly role. What advice would you give fathers about, dealing with daughters?
The biggest thing I would say is listen. One of the things I've learned not to do is be judgmental, and it's a everyday process of, you have to feel the flow, and then I go, women have a flow about them that I don't think guys really have, but women have a flow, and there's a cycle that you feel, and
So paying attention to that.
Yes, paying attention to detail with them, and and the thing about it is I probably have a better feel of them, and I have to do a better job at home with my wife, and so I'm real with people about that, and I'm getting better with that. But I've been around these young ladies and coaching for so long. It's just it's kind of a habit now to look at certain things and not judge certain things, and make sure that you're there. When we have issues, first thing I do is, and they're sad, I tell them to cry. Get it out, because we can't move any further if it's balled up in you. You need to get it out, and then we can move on. If you have an issue, come on, get it out, and then we can move on. And so those are the type of things that I would say or have been helpful and with me. And my wife always says you can probably be a better daddy than you would be a husband. And I'm not a bad husband, but she's like, you just care so much for kids and you understand them. She's like, you would be a great father. So those are the things that I would suggest.
Great advice. Now, you have a book.
I do.
From Chumps to Champs.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about this book.
This book is the 5-year journey of me coming to TCC, and I go back a little bit so that I give people an understanding of where it all started. But I take them through a 5-year journey of this journey, and we won a national championship, but it wasn't about the destination. It was about the journey. So I talk about the journey. I talk about the ups and the downs and decisions, and how we prepare our girls. We talk about CEO mindset. I tell them that they're entrepreneurs, and I run my organization like a business. And I tell people all the time, I treat them like family, but I also treat them like employees. And they have to understand, in the real world, they're going to be required, and there are going to be expectations that they have to meet. And so if you can meet my expectations, you will be able to meet the expectations of the world, and it will be easy to get through, because my expectations are way harder than the world's. And so, I talk about that journey. I talk about those successes and the failures, where I've messed up, where I've succeeded. And, I tell people all the time, the first thing I talk about in the book is basically coaching while black, and sharing my truth. Because everyone wants us to, suppress, the black truth. And I'm not saying it is any less more important than anybody else's, but it's mine. And so I share that and how I had to get through this journey with some of the obstacles and roadblocks. But that's pretty much the gist of the book. And like I said, I really, truly try to share where we went from. When I got to this program, it was the bottom of the bottom. We were the chumps, and then we were able to become champions.
I love that. That's great. Now, as it relates to academics for your students, how important is that?
It's very important. That's part of that CEO mindset and entrepreneur mindset that we talk about, because I use the classroom as like, this is your boardroom. This is where you get your education. This is where you're able to make decisions and learn how to make decisions. And But academics are important. Since I've been here, we've averaged probably between a 2.8 and a 3-point plus GPA. We were honored nationally last year for our academic success. This year, we probably fell about 5 percentage points away from that again. But we've graduated everybody since I've been here. We have a 98 to 96% completion rate of classes. And so that's pretty much where we find academically. And it's very important to me because if you miss class or you do anything, you miss a game or you miss something that you love. I want to take something from you. So I think they find that it's very important that they go to class and they do the things and they communicate with teachers and build relationships.
That's outstanding.
Yes, ma'am.
Outstanding.
We are Cumulus Broadcasting Tallahassee, the power of radio. Proud sponsor of Conversations with Nicole, connecting the community through conversations.
Every stunt, every shot, every rep, every strike, every hit, every kick, every spike. From first down to first place, every tag counts. When you buy a professional team license tag, every purchase supports the designated team's youth charity programs and promotes youth in major sporting events in Florida. Find out more information at playinflorida.com.
We are Cumulus Broadcasting Tallahassee, the power of radio. Proud sponsor of Conversations with Nicole, connecting the community through conversations.
Well, we're here at Nefertari's,
Yes, ma'am.
and you've been here before.
I have. I have.
So let's talk food.
All right.
All right. What's your favorite food?
Well, on the menu for me, one of my go-tos is the mushroom ravioli, and you can either do it with the chicken or you can do it with shrimp. And you know, I'm vegetarian, so I'll do some pescatarian stuff. So I usually get that with shrimp because the sauce and the mushrooms with it is good.
It's just
real good. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Okay. And if you could describe your life as a flavor or a spice, what would it be?
Oh man, that's a good one. You got me something now. I'm gonna keep that one. I would say lemon pepper.
Lemon pepper.
Yes, that's my favorite. I don't use salt. I don't use pepper. I use lemon. I put lemon pepper on everything.
Okay.
I would say the lemon pepper because lemon is something that you can squeeze on, and it to me brings out flavor. And I love to bring out the best in people. And then that pepper is that just enough kick that it's not too spicy, and it's not, but you can swallow it. And sometimes, you know, I'm a little spicy, but I think I think you can swallow and take me in. That you can understand what I'm saying and what I'm getting at. So I would say lemon pepper would probably be, you know, my seasoning.
Coach Q, the lemon pepper.
Coach Q, lemon pepper.
All right, like it. And what's the best advice that you've either given or received?
I would say the best, and I can think about it, is my dad and my uncle, and they got some that I couldn't say on TV right now, but I would say the best advice that I've gotten, I tell people all the time. I listened to the speaker, and he said, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future." And so I give that. So I would say I receive that and I give that. So I tell people all the time, I'll know a lot about your future when I see the crowd that you hang around with. So you know, that would probably be the best advice that I've received and the best advice that I give.
And you tell that to your girls?
All the time. All the time.
Okay. They take heed to that?
For the most part, they do.
Okay.
They do. You can't fly with eagles if, you know, you a chicken.
This is true. This is true.
Another piece of advice that you might be able to give. But
Okay,
yeah.
all right. What's the best thing about what you do?
Changing lives. Changing lives. Having opportunity on a daily basis to change lives, whether it's my kids or it's other kids on campus, because I'm not just always in my office, I'm on campus. You know, I have relationships with students, but able to change lives and be a positive example of what a person with dyslexia can do, what a person with a learning disability, a person who was supposed to be dead at birth. I mean, all those different things, I feel like I'm an example. And so to be able to share those things and change someone's lives, and like I tell them, I want to transform anybody that I come in presence with. I don't want to just, you know, touch you. I want to transform you. And so hopefully, you know, continue to do that. That's the most exciting thing I think I do get out of my job, is being able to do that on a daily basis.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're going to take a break right here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, you all stay tuned for more Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole is proud to launch our new website featuring past episodes, information on collaborative events, partner opportunities, and more. Visit CWNMoments.com and discover how we are connecting the community through conversations. Again, that's CWNMoments.com.
Conversations with Nicole. Have a little talk.
Well, as you can see, our food is here. So that's all the conversation we have time for today. I want to thank my special guest, Coach Q from TCC's Women's Basketball. Keep doing the great things you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to update us. Let us know
Sure
what you
will.
got going on in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Conversations with Nicole, where we're connecting the community through conversations. We'll see you next time. All right. So what did you get over there? That is the mushroom ravioli.
Yes, I did.
Looks good. Looks good.